This is Richard Flax at MoneyFarm, talking about some of the things that have caught our attention over the past couple of days. Three things really to focus on. The first, in the Eurozone, we saw the announcement of the Eurozone recovery plan, and that included around 390 billion euros of grants jointly backed by the Eurozone countries. And that's an important step in terms of the developing fiscal relations within the Eurozone. Now, the deal still needs to be approved by the national parliaments, but it does alleviate some concerns that Eurozone countries would not be acting sufficiently in concert to help each other during a period of crisis, and the potential for what that might mean for the future of the Eurozone. Outside of Europe, we've seen US-China relations continue to deteriorate. We saw the Chinese consulate in Houston closed, the US request. We've now seen the US consulate in Chengdu closed. And there are signs that the competition between these two countries, between the rising power and the hegemon, is beginning to increase. At some point, you would expect this to have more of an impact on financial markets than perhaps it has. Generally speaking, it seems financial markets have focused elsewhere, notably around COVID-19 over the past few months. But the rhetoric seems to be rising, and there is the potential that this can weigh on some parts of financial markets over the coming months and quarters. And that's something that we'll need to keep a close eye on and think through where the most likely areas of risk and opportunity are. And then finally, in terms of Brexit, we've seen the latest round of negotiations come to an end with relatively little progress, and some frustration on both sides. It seems the likelihood of what would once have been called a no-deal scenario seems to be rising, and we've generally held the view that this would be negative, particularly for UK assets. In fairness, we have seen UK equities underperform year to date relative to most other equity markets. And we've seen some weakness in the currency as well, but nothing too dramatic. So we'll continue to focus on what we see coming out of the Brexit negotiations, and you'd imagine that this will become a greater focus of attention as we move into the second half of the year and towards the end of the year. Thank you very much for joining us, and look forward to speaking to you again soon.